What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, LoBaggers? It's Good Friday. It is the Easter weekend. The sun is shining. It's freezing cold, but the sun is shining, baby. We have a gorgeous card. Come on. MLB, and not an overwhelming slate of MLB. NBA, a big, beautiful NBA slate. And NHL, and I have made 0 moves so far. So everything that I bet today will be worked out here with you guys in the chat. And I'm wearing a Lou Brock on my back, number 20. Lou Brock, are you kidding me? Brought out the box of jerseys, so you'll be seeing many more in the next little bit. There's Robert Cherry in the house, feeling better. Our man Robert Cherry has COVID. He's still on quarantine, but feeling like capping some games, sending you all the healing energy to our guy, Robert Cherry. Also, Fat Wally has COVID too. So we've got 2 OG LoBaggers whom we love dearly that are fighting this thing right now. So if we could give them all of the positive energy, all of the love, all the prayers possible for our guys to get better, get back in action. I know Wally wants to go to Vegas with the boys for the big Kentucky Derby weekend. So let's send them all the positive love and energy we can. There's Boston Nick in the house. I had the great pleasure of being on the Razor Sharp horse show last night, man. Wow. Like as soon as I got on there, Gas puts a 35-1 winner out there. It's just extremely enjoyable. I brought up the Kraken. I loved it. Boston Nick was doing shoeies. I mean, does it get more fun than that? I don't think so. There is the great Matty Ice, a.k.a. Matt Randall. So since I've gone back live, just hitting an 80% with the taint play of the day. 80%? I mean, we were talking about him on Razor's show last night. I mean, come on. If you have a mortgage or a car payment, the incredible, astute capping of our Matt Randall should be paying that. What a guy. What a guy. Nairobi Pittman in the house, man. Another guy. Nairobi Pittman, he gives us so much positive energy. He's such a great guy to cap with. And Nairobi, I think you're in Vegas or close to Vegas, right? So the boys are all coming out from Kentucky Derby. I hope you can hang out with them. We got P-Nut in the house. I'm looking for the dude that took Portland and over Memphis 3-team parlay 2 days ago. Looking for that dude. I think his name was Birdie. Yes. Birdie handing out winners on this show, man. That's what he does. That's what all you guys do, man. I'm the only one that seems to not be doing that right now. Alonzo Shivers in the house. Our man Alonzo. Great to see you, man. Brandon Lugo ready to go. Giovanni Biesdorf. Man, I love that. Thank you for the kind words. What a great NBA capper he is as well. Gerald Jones. We got Spenny, Penny Bombs, Benjamin Martin. Spenny was hitting huge races too. Spenny was. We're all talking and drinking, and he's hammering Japan. He's hammering every single track around. The guy takes no time off. He focuses on getting that cash all day and every day. JW in the house. Carlos Perosian is cheesy balls. Slats 45 hit 2-team parlay in NHL with Las Vegas. But as usual, hit the taint. Cheers, Matty Ice. Love Oilers and Padres first 5. I think the Oilers are the spot too. The difficulty of adding baseball is that sometimes I just can't get to the window and make the bets before the show starts, and that's fine. It means I just talk it out with you guys. I'm fine. Puzzler here, ready to go. Our guy Kanaskat, David Sharp. We talked about David Sharp on the Horse Show. If you are following David Sharp's trends and the way he caps, and Gas Station compared David Sharp to Dan Kelly, spectacular NBA capper, elite NBA capper, and was comparing David Sharp to him. And David Sharp also, like Matt Randall says, don't take that under 3.5 in the Cubs game. And I kind of, I'm like looking at the reasons why he likes that Tigers-Indians game. And I'm like, I think this first 5 can go to 3.5. And then David Sharp goes, look, David Sharp's also listening. He's like, look, you heard what Matt Randall said, and what, you're still going to be this thick-headed clown and make that bet? And I was like, yes, honk, honk, and I lost it. There's Nate Dogg 420, a father. He had a daughter last week in the house. Congratulations, Nate Dogg, my man. Amsterdam, what else? Ready to go. Ben Martin says, I always cap Gulfstream 2, and I'm an hour away. I was a little busy this morning. Yes, and Keeneland pops off today. There's Michael Irvalina. We got Viper NB. Waiting for goalie confirmation and looking at the Wheeler injury. Without a doubt, Slats can't back the Jets if Wheeler's not there. Yeah, the team doesn't have a ton of depth. Eddie Sunshine, Neil P, Jerry Beatty, K-Prop TJ says, getting the K-Prop machine. Oh, it's TJ. Oh, nice. He's now K-Prop TJ. Yeah, getting the K-Prop machine, getting warmed up. I love it. Guillermo Zertucci giving us a best bet, a early best bet. I will copy and paste that right now. 8th race, McWhorter. Copy and paste. Thank you, Guillermo. I will take that. One-way ticket to the bank. I still have my account locked and loaded from last night. Wesley Costas ready to go. Ish Kurt. Nilo. Chris Brady. Okay, it's time to there's Ski Profit, man. I had the honor of doing Ski Profit show yesterday on the Locker Room app. So he has a show every day at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Jump on the Locker Room app for that show alone. His best bet at the end of it after we had talked was Denver Nuggets, and they cashed easily. Shout out to our Ski Profit. Gregory Wilson. Yes, whatever we want now, my man. Whatever we want. Going to try and get in every day. It's hard since I have to teach these young shits. There's Corey Simmons. Focus on your bets. Freddie Freeballin. Kevin Riley. Denver outright yesterday. Today's top play coming up. I love it. There's Dylan Turner in the house. We got Brian Warner, Bob Taylor, B-Lab. Okay, we got lots of work to do. Mark Unkefer, who beat COVID. He beat COVID. So leading by example, showing us we can beat this thing. And so Robert Cherry, Fat Wally, you guys are going to beat this thing next. Just like you guys beat the books. Kenny Turner, there's Ski Profit saying Nuggets, Jimmy. Yeah, too easy. Great breakdown. Dylan Turner saying these 2 to 3 NHL 2-3 teamers are getting me paid. There's Trotwam in the house. There's Hey Listen. There's Big Franco. All right. There's the Sweaty Butcher prime cut. I was on it. The under 212.5. I ended up getting 213 because the market was going against us in the Cavs game. Look out for Sweaty Butcher prime cuts, man. They'll feed you right. Here we go. Roll Star 69. Already bet Hornets Pacers under 220.5. Oh, isn't that a good feeling? Great stuff. Good work, Roll Star. Yeah, I don't even know if at first I was reading it, studying. I was like, Sabonis is going to play, and then I was like, he's listed as questionable, and what if he's not there either? I stopped. There's Dutch Boy Fresh in the house, and he's got the freshest look here. Kings -4. We were talking about Dutch on the horse show last night. How Dutch putting money in everybody's pocket, and we were on. Dutch got us on the over, and we were fortunate. I mean, it was at 220, and we got 221. It was at 220, but it's 110 going into overtime. So there was a bit fortunate. But Dutch was also on the Hawks, and Gas Station Sushi was talking about how great it was. Rolling with Dutch and how he's just putting money in our pocket. Polo this, Polo that. White Sox game messed my whole week up. It was a very strange day yesterday. Very, very strange day. Fresh RX, our guy Fresh RX woke up early for this West Coast shit. Let's go, boys. I love that. Thank you for fighting the good fight. Neil P hitting the bong for me. Thank you. All right. And there's my guy Frank Vega in the house. Gregory Wilson. Raven in the Desert. Isn't it great? We got Raven in the Desert back, man. I missed him. He's such a strong capper, dude. So keep an eye out for anything that he does. Johnny K, great job. All right, we got Swerve in, JJB, Jordy Nordman, Jeff Joseph. Beautiful. How about some racetrack talk? Yes, I promise there's going to be more horse racing moving forward. I promise that. Okay, let's get to work. We've got a ton of work to do. Thank you guys all so much for joining me. Alonzo, my guys are here, ready to rock. There's Von Polo, Matt Shedden. Hey, listens on Pelicans -2. All right, let's fucking go. Well, there's Vincente Gigante. Andy Savage says, pumped to make that money today. Really like the Blazers money line. Okay, so Jacksonville Zoe, serious business. Razor Sharp Picks, what a treat. Was doing a show yesterday. We got Oz B in the house. Says, when you coming to Vegas, man? Well, I was planning on being in Vegas for the entire month of August. We thought that shit would be, normal here, but we're now in a complete lockdown for the next month. So, New Breed Hustle says, I think Hawks and Pelicans under 223 for sure. And Taint is in. Oh, and do you know what, Matt? You won't believe this bullshit. And this is the key to having multiple books. So I've had the same local for now about 12 years, 13 years. And he basically is Bet365. And the reason why I use him is because I've known him for a long time and he's a good guy. And, I don't get my fingers broken if something goes wrong. But it's 25% in or out every Friday if it's over 500 or under 500. And it allows me to make bigger bets, bet out of my tax bracket. But it hurts me when I don't have multiple books going. So I need to get at least a Pinnacle account going for a situation that happened after the show yesterday when Indians Tigers wasn't on the board. I couldn't believe it. Indians Tigers, I kept refreshing. Ugh. And, my record is only what I actually get to the window with. So, ugh. Ray Charles ready to go. So I didn't get the glory of it. But there we go. Taint in business. White Sox. Bob Taylor says you should reach out to Twatty. I love Twatty. I will. All right. Let's get to work. The Czar says Raptors money line killed me the other night. Unreal. They lose to OKC. Oh, God. I was talking about that, Czar. Because we drove 45 minutes away just so we could, because we thought the lockdown was coming, so we could at least have one meal inside, and have some beers and just feel like something's normal again. And I couldn't even eat with the family. I was so pissed off watching the game, and I just was sitting there holding the baby, and I was just, what's happened? And now Lowry's out 7 to 10 days. He's not coming back. King Art back, and I says fade the Raptors from here out. Okay, yes. And Neil says, what are you guys starting with, baseball, hockey? So we did the poll yesterday, and I went over the votes, how we're doing this. And Ulysses says Vegas Golden Knights messed up my parlay. When the Sharps were going on Minnesota, I'm like, what are they seeing? I was on Vegas. And then when it was 2-1, I was like, I'm in business. And then when the Rangers were up 2-1 and they pulled their goalie, I was like, okay, let's cash this puck line. But the Panthers Wings was a nice under again. And both teams, unders, just unders, especially the Panthers. But that might change on Saturday because they're getting Park on back. Okay, so what was voted is this: baseball, basketball, hockey. That's how we're going to do our show. MLB, NBA, NHL. That's how we're going to do our sports show. Now, on days when we're attacking the horses, when we're doing a horse day, I'm not going to attack the card because I need to put in the hours of research into the horses. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Wesley Costa says, I forgot how difficult April baseball is. You said it. Okay, there's Mr. Gokster in the house. Let's get to, there's Gas Station Sushi. God, he just puts a huge smile on my face every time I see that, man. And, handing out 35-1 winners on Razor Show. Razor hit 2 different tries for $1,700, man. These guys are making money. You got Nick drinking shoeies. God. Spenny hammering Japan. All right. The old Toronto on the Raps today, brother. I've thought about it, but let's start with MLB and go from there. It was a battle capping all these games, and it's just a half MLB card. God damn, I need playoffs to start in NHL or NBA fast. Alonzo, I'm not entirely sure. You are spending. I'm not entirely sure how he's doing. So we're going to get him here on the show. Everybody wants to see him. Everybody wants him involved. We all love him so much. We all are cut from his cloth. We learned from him. We looked up from him. We have the same rules that he taught us. And we start with the transparency and honesty and accountability, regardless of how embarrassing it is. And so, yeah, we miss them all dearly. Okay, let's get to work. We start 2:10 p.m. Eastern. And speaking of that, I went 1-3-2 yesterday. Cashed that Jays first bet. Now, made this stupid joke that watch the season crash from here, and then it does. So that's another thing. I shouldn't be negative. I should be positive. All right, let's get to work. 2:10 p.m. Baltimore Orioles at Boston Red Sox, Fenway Park, Boston, Massachusetts. 36 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 7 miles per hour out to right. We have 2019 Rookie of the Year John Means, a lefty, going up against Nathan Eovaldi. Let's check this market move to begin with. Boston opens up offshore, with limits of minus 165. Now you can get Boston anywhere from minus 162 all the way up to minus 190. This total opens up at 9, and it moves to 9.5. Ben Sports 24/7. Cash flow play of the day right here. Interesting. Play of the day. First inning, no score at minus 110. Slats 45 says 9-1, 7-1, 13-2 are the last 3 scores with Red Sox and Eovaldi starting versus O's. All winners. I'm on the Red Sox with a few fans in the stands. And it hasn't been interesting the way, especially in like arenas, how there are 2,000 or 3,000 fans and the players are loving every second of it. And David Charles says, I'm a repost of trends for opening day and day 2. Be careful taking big dogs that won yesterday. I think that makes a ton of sense. Wesley Costa says, I think the Red Sox are going to have a very bad year. Roll the dice with the O's and Means at plus 150. And those of you who noticed that the chat didn't come up on the playback yesterday, I figured out what it was. So that won't happen again, and I apologize for that. Thank you, Gas. Got number 20 and Lou Brock on the back of this baby. There's Juan Ruiz in the house. Viper likes O's first 5. All right, let's break this down a little further. So last year in 43 2/3, John Means went 2-4, 4.53 ERA, 43 2/3, 42 strikeouts, just 7 walks. So a really nice K to walk ratio, but 12 home runs allowed. He had a 21.8% home run per fly ball rate. In his rookie season, 9.9%. So tricky to trust at this point. The Orioles get Trey Mancini back. It's going to be interesting to see what he's going to offer him. They get Freddie Galvis and Maikel Franco back. And Freddie Galvis is at the point in his career where anybody can have him. So I don't think Freddie Galvis is going to do that much. But Maikel Franco, they're going to at least give some, I guess, help the infield. Ryan Mountcastle could be an absolute stud. They also have 2019 first overall pick Adley Rutschman. So the Red Sox have an 874 OPS against Means. And that's something I'd like to do right now is bring up all of the batter versus pitcher stats for us here. Let's get this going. So they hit Means. Here we go. Verdugo 1 for 5. JD Martinez 14. Oh, excuse me. That's 1 for 1. Sorry, I was looking at pitch total. 1 for 1. JD Martinez 4 for 14 with 3 homers. And I'd be curious to see what you guys think of JD Martinez this year. If you expect a lot from him or a little. This is Red Sox run line or nothing for me. Matty Ice says, Baltimore hitters last year versus Evo only 2 extra base hits while striking out 13 times. Dylan Turner says, I'm going skeet shooting very shortly. Damn. Sorry, Dylan. We've switched it up. Damn, I'd love to hear what you are on. If you want to pop up what you are on, I'll copy and paste it, and then we can talk about it when we get there. But the votes came in. They want to open up a baseball. This is their show. We have the power now. And Slot saying nothing to worry about with the Red Sox core knows how to steal signs. Okay, so Bogarts 6 of 14 overall, 270 average, 874 OPS. They've hit 5 home runs, but that's 3 from J.D. Martinez and 2 from Xander Bogaerts. And we all remember when J.D. Martinez destroyed lefties. Against the Eovaldi, this team has a 293 average, but no power. So they've gone 17 for 58 and no homers, no triples, and 3 doubles. So just rinky-dink, tappity, tap, tap, tap hits. I love the Oilers too. Turnsy, I think that's going to be a move that I make. I'm glad to hear that you like it too. Wesley Costas agrees with Mountcastle. Yeah, Mountcastle could be a boss here. So interesting. So we have the market going up with this total to 9.5, yet it's 36 Fahrenheit. So let's see where the money is now. Let's see where the money is. Here we go. And by the way, I've been given an account, and I haven't started it up yet, but I will know exactly. I've been given an account, so I'll know exactly where the money is. A very, an expensive account to know exactly what the books are doing, and I've been using free ones right now, so that will change next week. Next week we'll know exactly where the cash is. All right, so we have tickets on the over, cash on the over, and more tickets than cash on Boston. It makes me feel like sharps are on this Orioles squad. And I really don't want to get this day started by betting on either of these teams. Trotwam says, I like Baltimore too, taking them early in the season, being good to me over the past few years. There's Hustle Wilson in the house. Ron Crawford on Coyotes, Navs, and regulation. Johnny K, Jets, Avs over 5.5, Coyotes, Kings. So we'll do that. And Keeneland starts in an hour and a half. It does. Nilo says Baltimore plays the division team tough. Can't count them out if they can hit, especially a Sox team that isn't that good. K-Prop TJ says first 5 under, not much power. All right, let's take a look and get up what the opening lineups are just to see if they are up. Here we go. And this is a kind of mistake I've made in the past. We've got confirmed lineups. So, look, I want to have action in 2 hours. I want to have action bad. The question is, do I want to trust any of these teams? So this is Baltimore's lineup. Mullins, Mancini, Santander, Mountcastle batting fourth, DHing, Ruiz, Hayes, Franco, Galvis. Interesting. So they're using Severino behind the plate and Adley Richmond not getting that first start. I guess that makes sense. Edwin Garcia in the house. Great to see you, Edwin. Thank you, Christopher Commentini. There's Gurpreet. Great to see you, my man. Wesley Costa says also sharps on Boston, Baltimore under, probably because the number is so high. Big Franco says, I think the public's going off last year's perspective of Baltimore. David Sharp says Orioles are a different team with Mancini in the lineup. They are, but I don't think we should expect Mancini to just start off where he left off. I start up where he left off. I think that and then Ron Crawford spreadsheet plays, they hit it at an extremely high percent. And it's a huge, enormous help when Ron Crawford comes in to help. So Boston, White Sox, so that now we have Ron Crawford and the Taint play of the day together. And Jerry B says Red Sox done nothing to improve. Take the over just like last year. Johnny K liking the Orioles. Nate Dogg's on the Orioles plus 1.5 and money line. So this is the Red Sox lineup. Hernandez, Verdugo, Martinez, Bogarts, Devers, Renfroe. They have Hunter Renfroe, Gonzalez, Vasquez, and then Bobby Dalbec batting 9, turning the lineup over and hitting first. So okay. Red Sox coming off a really ugly campaign. They get Alex Cora back. They had Kiki Hernandez, Hunter Renfroe, and Martin Gonzalez. Eovaldi was 3-0 with a 0.95 ERA and 3 starts against the Orioles last year. In his career, he's 6-1 with a 4.15 ERA and 54 strikeouts against Baltimore. I bet you do, Freddie Freeballin'. I bet you do. Bet you got 2 fingers inside it right now. Okay, good luck. Go get those skeets, man. Fire away. Mark Unkefer looking at the over 4.5 strikeouts. Gregory Wilson saying this is a stay away. It wouldn't shock me here. There's Ken Mizrahi in the house. Great to see you, Ken, my man. It wouldn't shock me here if Eovaldi has an okay start. Let's just see what I'm getting here. Oh, they're not even. Are they going to give me some team totals here on the 5? Not yet. And the team total for the Orioles, for instance, at Bet365, the under 4.5 is minus 145. Wow. And I'm not getting the team total on the first 5 right now. I'd be very interested in that. And then, do we think that these guys can get? Let's just quickly one last time, just because this game is about to pop off here. Let's just look at who hits. So Verdugo with 1-for-1 doesn't count. JD Martinez, who's batting 30, is dangerous. Bogarts. So JD Martinez and Bogarts, they do all the heavy lifting. I wonder if Eovaldi could get through that lineup. I wonder if score first. I wonder if Red Sox just to score first. Are they going to give me that? God, I'm going to need a different first team to score minus 120 each way. I think Means could have a little bit of difficulty getting through that lineup the first time. Barry Smith says Orioles win today. Ben Martin saying Dalbec is a beast. Wesley Costas liking that first 5 under. And that first 5 under, what do you think of Red Sox score first? I mean, is Means going to be able to get through that lineup right off the top? There's Alonso Garcia in the house. Thank you for joining us, Alonso. Freddie freeballing like in 2 home runs from JD. So first 5, quickly, we have a total at wow. So the full game total, because of the weakness of the bullpens, has gone from 9 to 9.5, and yet the first 5 total has gone from 5.5 to 5. Edwin Garcia, I was doing a show at odds. I moved over to odds, so we're back here on my page at this point. That's what's up. JT going to stay off, score first. Matty, I said that would be probably the only way I would bet this game. Because is he going to be able to get through? Is Means going to be able to get through JD Martinez, who has a 1.412 OPS against him, and Bogarts, who has a 1.366 OPS? You've got all the. And David Sharp says the navigatable, the Red Sox lineup. The Czar under, for me, first 5, it's too cold. Barry Smith is on the over. Okay. And JT locked in that first 5 under. Okay, I'm going to take the Red Sox to score first. By the way, this is the first time that fans have been at Fenway in like 500-plus days. Freddie freeballing, I'll tail in UFC, but I'll leave the breakdowns to the experts. It's okay. And I know I watched them cash nonstop. Fresh RX says they both have no bullpen. Second, third time through the order for starters will be rough. David Sharp says can't bet unders with 2 mediocre pitchers. Desar says weakness bullpen. Okay, so I'm going to move on Red Sox score first. I will see if Eovaldi can get through that lineup once, and then let's see what these guys do. Okay, so I'll move on that. All right, let's move over to the 7:10 p.m. game. Tampa Bay Rays at Miami Marlins. There wasn't really a consensus here in this game. And Big Franco says one more thing, guys. These early games can be tricky. Go the opposite of the obvious. Yeah, Big Franco. If if over the years all I did was the opposite of what I was thinking. And David Sharp says Jimmy had the itch to get a morning play. At least my palms have started leaking. Hey, at least my palms have started leaking. There's Leroy Flood in the house. What up, Leroy, my guy? Okay, let's move on to Rays Marlins. Rays Marlins is 7:10 p.m. Eastern. I had Marlins first 5 yesterday. That was a push. And I had the Dodgers first 5 under 6. That was a push. And I thought I got unlucky with that error. But it turns out with the error in the bottom of the 5th from the Dodgers. But it turned out that I had been very lucky early in the game when Justin Turner thought the ball was caught and turned around. You know, when you're not sure what's happening, it might be a good idea to look and listen. But no, he just turned around, started running backwards with a plan. Okay. Weston Costa says, under Tampa Bay, Miami, if anything, 7.5 is too low. Pass for me. So we'll start with the first 5. This first 5 total here in Yarbrough Lopez is at 4, and it's moved to 3.5 at the leading indicator book. Now, that's a heavily juiced 3.5, but important to recognize. Oh, K-Prop TJ, good move. Good move. I wonder what juice you got that at. Fucking good move. Smart. Okay, so we're going to go to full game money lines and totals. David Sharp says money came in on the Marlins overnight. I saw that. A huge move. A huge move. So offshore with limits, 5 dimes open this with Yarbrough at minus 135. Very quickly, Lopez and the Marlins became the favorite. And it moved so much, David, that I didn't bet it because I have some buddies down in Costa Rica and my man Luis, and he takes, this is his bread and butter MLB, and he's like, get on the Marlins. He sent me this message around 2 a.m. when I was studying, and I was like, yeah, I get it, but the market had moved too far in that direction. Earl Sports Bets. Earl in the house saying Tampa Bay minus 107. Tampa should be at least a minus 130 in this game. So value on the Rays here. Well, they opened at minus 135. So why don't we pull up where the money is here? And so the sharps are all over the Marlins. So 57% of the tickets, but 77% of the cash. Maceo says, move to Puerto Rico, no taxes. Oh, I just want to be able to travel. I just want to be able to drive across the border. I just want to go to, I don't know, let me just go to Dinosaur Barbecue in Buffalo. Is that too much to ask? Get a peanut butter pie? Watch a Sabres game? Park at the casino for free? David Sharp says, a lot of people are high on Lopez. Dennis Garcia is saying Miami going to break hearts. Okay, so it's pretty simple for me. I would agree with the Marlins at plus money. With the big move, I'm not going to bet now. Also, we haven't even broken the game now. We've just been talking about the odds. Okay, Tampa Bay Rays 1-0 on the season. They win yesterday. We're at Lone Depot Park in Miami, Florida. What a beautiful name. Lone Depot Park. God. Baseball was a classy sport. Lone Depot Park. Jeter, you money hungry. Fucking Jesus. Ryan Yarbrough. 1-4, 3.56 ERA last year. Oh, sorry, don't tap the desk. Thank you, Neil. 1.19 WHIP, 57 and a third, 59 Ks, 55 and 2/3, 44 Ks and 12 walks last year. Pablo Lopez, 6-4, 3.61 ERA, 1.19 WHIP, 57 and a third, 59 Ks and 18 walks. And Gerald says got a Dino Barbecue right down. That is that peanut butter pie. That's probably my favorite dessert in the world. And all you have to do is tell them it's your birthday and you get it for free. Freddie Freeball says, with no fans, it should be called Loner Park. Yeah. And we all got to be there, man. I got to watch a ball game here with a bunch of LoBaggers, and it was a final score of like 22-7, 22-9, Marlins Phillies 2 years ago. All right. Rays opened their season with the impressive 1-0 win over these Marlins. Austin Meadows' home run with 2 outs in the 8th provided all the scoring. And if Meadows can get hot, I mean, he had 33 home runs 2 years ago, 4 in 36 games last year. The Rays didn't make many changes this year. They're still expecting Lau and Rosarina. to carry on from where they left off last year. And Pablo Lopez got touched by these Rays last year to the tune of 5.73 ERA. And he's always been so good at home compared to the road. And I think it's those splits that makes people want to back him here. Let's talk about what he is against pitcher batter. So against Pablo Lopez, they're hitting 250 with a 762 OPS. And who hits him? Joey Wendell, 4 of 8 with a homer. Tetsugo, 2 for 2 with a homer. Austin Meadows, 1 for 4 with a double. So they don't hit him that hard. Against Yarbrough, they don't touch Yarbrough at all, 143. So I understand why this is moved to the under. Ken Mizrahi says can't stand the Red Sox, but I think they can take this one. In Opfa, ready to go. Let's share some winners baseball style. I love it in Opfa. Great capper. Spectacular Thorber capper. Okay, so with this spot here. Oh, by the way, the Coors Field fade. You know, that's something we used to love hammering a few years ago. Cash is huge, game 1. And that's just taking the underdog at Coors Field on the run line, the alternative run line, excuse me. Cash is first up. So with all that said and done, I understand why the under is being bet, but there was no VIG on it if you wanted it early, and if you want it now, there's a ton of VIG. So that first five under 4 is a spot that I have some interest in. Pete's in Brooklyn. He's got a job in Brooklyn, doing well, but we're going to get him on the show. So let's just see what I would get here. First 5 then, if I wanted it. First 5 under 4 at minus 125, and I can't do that because we have to remember when you put VIG into this, it's a very dangerous proposition, and we have to keep our VIG down as much as possible. So remember, with a minus 125, that's got an implied probability of 55.56%. And with the 4, you're going to have a lot of pushes come into play. So do I really think that over 55% of the time there'll be 3 runs or fewer scored after a 1-0 game when I'm definitely dealing with a bias here, and I have to move off? Ben Sports 24/7's on Marlins to score first. Okay, so I'm moving off. And there's John Schwartzy in the house. Okay, so let's move past this. We're going to go on to 8:40 p.m. Eastern, Dodgers Rockies. What a wild game. I mean, that game had everything, man. That's fun baseball. Coors Field, Denver, Colorado. It's a nice day today. 74 Fahrenheit, clear, 6 miles per hour in. And Freddie Freeballin saying Tampa Bay versus Miami over is easy. And the Czar saying not sure why the Fish are taking money. And the team total over for the Rays for David Sharp. There's 420 Fuego in the house. We have Trevor Bauer, 5-4, 1.73 ERA, 0.79 WHIP, 73 innings, 100 Ks, 17 walks. Somehow, this fucking drone pilot has become a Cy Young Award winner. Somehow. Fucking somehow. And these Dodgers are huge favorites. There's Steve Zang in the house. It's Frankie Cheeks. Stop calling me Freddie Cheeks. It's Frankie, Steve. Frankie. Okay. Let's see what we're dealing with from a market perspective here. And we have these Dodgers opening up at minus 275, and it's going down. So you can now get them anywhere between minus 220 and minus 275. Interesting. So I took a look at the run line. I think this is not a pleased group, but it's at minus 160. And you just can't make those bets. There's Chef Jeff in the house says, I'm on Dodgers again today. I don't share my cheese whiz, Freddie Freeballin. If you're looking for cheese, just peel back the lips of your... Wesley Costas says Bauer will struggle at Coors Field. He relies on a high spin rate, which is neutralized in the thin air. That's great stuff. Edwin, I've answered that already. I'll answer it again. He's in Brooklyn. Yeah, he's got a good job, and he's doing well. So he's all good. But we'll get him on the show. There's our liking that take from Wesley Costas. John Schwartz is on the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. K-Prop TJ, Dodgers first 5 minus a half, minus 145. Look, there's just too much juice. I just can't sit there. Let's break this game down further because we got Senzatella. Senzatella was spectacular at home. 2.10 ERA at Coors Field. We don't hear that very much. Oh, on the season. Now, remember, mind you, a small sample size was a short season, but 5-3, 3.44 ERA, 1.2 on whip, 73 and a third, 41 Ks, 18 walks. Absolutely, Earl. I'll be in touch for sure, my man. Hit me on Twitter. I follow you, so just message me. Barry Smith says Dodgers smash Rockies tonight. Lock of the day. Dodgers team total is what Big Franco is looking at. But Senzatella is so good at home. I don't want to sit here with these huge juiced up favorites at this point. And we have a daily double for Keeneland Race 1. A daily double for Keeneland Race 1 from our gas station sushi. So let's pop up our account and bet that. A daily double from gas station sushi. Here we go. Oh, shit. Here we go. Sorry. Just going to quickly. Sorry, you guys. When gas comes in with one of these, you open up your account and you bet it. All right. Let's sign in. Sorry. Daily double at Keeneland. This is where he makes all his cash. Well, not all his cash, but he does very well here. So let's move over to Keeneland. Place bet. Sorry, betting is currently closed for this race. Damn, okay. It's not open for betting yet. That was a waste of time. But not a waste of time because we still have gas, so I'm going to copy and paste. All right. And for those of you guys here that missed it, let me just pop it up on the screen. So we also have best bet from Guillermo Zertucci at Santa Anita, 8th race, number 3, McWhorter. Vitalis was great stuff, man. This is just gotta get off on the shit. All this great work together. It says Bauer contact rate more than 50%. Medium, that means the ball never leaves the field. Not a fan of the drone pilot, but just numbers. Yeah, no, I get it. Okay. Oh, so let's just take a quick look at what that team total is. I'm not going to bet it. Senzatella at home they'll have to get to the bullpen, which they're more than capable of. And I've got a 7.5 team total. No. There's Al Cervic in the house. Just want to jump in today. And peace and best wishes. I will be back football season on the regular. Best chat room, hands down. Love you, Jimmy. Love you, Al Cervic, my guy. Miss you, man. Miss you, man. Thank you for popping back in, man. You were a definite highlight of our football season. Okay, so we're going to move past this. Senzatella 3-3, 5.74 ERA, 25 strikeouts against the Dodgers. So he doesn't have good numbers against the Dodgers. Why don't we just see exactly what his numbers are here against the Dodgers? Senzatella. Wow, they've seen him a lot. 130 at-bats. They're hitting 292 with 837 OPS, 6 home runs. Mookie 3 for 6 with a homer against them. Seager 5 for 15 with 2 homers. Wow. And Puzzler saying a pitcher's spin rate would increase very slightly at higher altitude due to less friction to slow the spin. Steve Zhang said I saw people working at Burger King, 327 West 42nd Street in NYC. Come on. Show me a pic. There's Stan Lynch. Thank you, Stan. Got Brock and number 20 on the back of this bad boy. Okay, so Stan Lynch picked Rays Marlins under yesterday 1-0 for that. God, what a gorgeous bet. Okay, so nothing for me. We move on to 9:38 p.m. Eastern, and we arrive at the taint play of the day from our Matty Ice, a.k.a. Matt Randall. The taint play of the day is 4-1 since I've gone back to live shows. Angel Stadium, Anaheim, California, 68 Fahrenheit, clear, 7 miles per hour out to center. Let's see what we have. We have market movement. Yeah, Stan. Was he ever? Okay, here we go. Keuchel, Heaney. We have for... let's go to money lines and totals here. Sorry, let's go to MLB. Switched off and money lines and totals. This will just take 1 second. Short shot, Timmy. Coming from down on the docks from Vancouver, British Columbia, my home. Well, my hometown. I'm in Toronto right now, but I miss Vancouver very much. Okay, so we have the White Sox opening up at minus 116 with limits, and the market moving towards this Angels team and Andrew Heaney. Wow. Let's pull up where the market is. So we have, wow. Oh, that's scary. So we have 71% of the tickets, 78% of cash on the White Sox, and yet this market is moved towards the Angels. Interesting. Let's take a look at the data here. We have against Keuchel, the Angels are hitting 240 with a 720 OPS. So Trout, it's all Trout. Well, it's Pujols. Pujols has 3 home runs, 2 doubles. He's 8 for 39 against Keuchel. But you can imagine that's probably from back in the day. Trout, 15 for 46 with 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, 13 strikeouts too. Upton, 4 for 17. Johnny K liking the Angels here. Oh, Raven says I'm back. Puppy got into a cactus. That's never good. And gas station is also backing McWhirter. So that's the corner of Zertucci and Gas Station Boulevard. David Trump says Heaney is a sneaky pitcher. Will be there number 1 in a few years if he can stay healthy. And Stan Lynch saying White Sox set to unveil top prospect Andrew Vaughn versus the Angels. Vitalis says Keuchel hard contact rate less than 25%. Says I like where the taint is going. And Jack, it says the bat. Good morning. What up, Jack and my guy? Okay, so if you're not betting the taint, you're leaving money on the table. So I'm going to jump on taint. Give me taint. Taint. So let's talk about this briefly here, even though the decision has been made. Dallas Keuchel, 6-2, 1.99 ERA, 1.09 WHIP. Last season, 63 and a third, 42 K, 17 walks. Andrew Heaney, 4-3, 4.46 ERA, 1.23 WHIP, 66 and 2/3, 70 Ks, 19 walks. Cal 707 saying, is anyone having problems with Bravada? So, could we help out our guy Cal if that's going on? JT, we're a team. This is exactly what we always dreamt of right now. Everybody working together to defeat the Juice. And Gregory Wilson says, I've found some good money on that corner. And a couple of great lottery tickets on the corner of Gas and Dennis Boulevard, too. Yeah. Gas Station and Garcia Boulevard, G&G. Okay, so Trout. So Heaney, 4-3, 4.46 ERA, 1.23 WHIP, 66 and 2/3, 70 Ks, 19 walks. And did I only give us the information on Keuchel? So against Heaney, they're hitting 306 with an 866 OPS. Abreu, 2 for 8. Those 2 hits are homers. Moncada, 3 for 5. Grandal, 1 for 2. Tim Anderson, 4 for 9. Johnny K says, I don't know, man. That line screams Angels. And Vitalis saying he's a Bovada user and it's up and running. And Jack had liking that over in the Dodgers game today. So Trout delivers the tying single. Ohtani scores the go-ahead run. This is how they wrote it up and expected to see that last year. Nate Dogg, the taint is the Chicago White Sox money line. Trout, Ohtani. Heaney improved as last year went on. Pujols went 0 for 4. in his 21st opening day start of his career. The 41-year-old. Yeah, right. The 48-year-old in his 21st opening day start of the year. That matches Eddie Murray and Al Kaline, trailing only Pete Rose's 23. Wow. Adam Engel went on the 10-day injured list with a strained right hamstring. Keuchel is 12-2 with a 3.36 ERA in 18 appearances against LA. All right, I'm on taint. Let's move on to 9:40 p.m. We have the Houston Astros at Oakland Athletics. Astros coming out of the gate fast. Should have been on them yesterday. Oakland Coliseum, Oakland, California. Oakland and Luzardo. This game was tricky, man. I spent a lot of time talking about it with my buddy Luis down in Costa Rica. Luzardo opening up at -130. You can now get him in that range, -25, 125 to -130. This total opened up, juice to the under. It still is. Very little movement. Juice to the under 8.5. There's sharp money ready to get to work. And Stan Lynch giving us a beauty stat. White Sox are 14-0 versus left-handed pitching last season. Jerry Beatty thinking that we're going to see some regression from Keuchel. So 57 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 9 miles per hour out to right in Oakland. We have Javier, 5-2, 3.48 ERA, 0.99 whip, 54 in the third, 54 Ks, 18 walks. Luzardo, 3-2, 4.12 ERA, 1.27 whip, 59 innings, 59 Ks, 17 walks. And so Luzardo was expected to be the ace of the staff. And he wasn't. And he got out of the gate slowly. There's Tony Bruscher ready to get to work, my guy Tony. Wesley Costa says this game is easy. Luzardo is money at home. Take the A's money line -137. So the question is, what are we going to get from Luzardo this year? I think he's the biggest. Is he going to be an absolute monster? Now, there's going to be very small sample size against these pitchers, even though, oh, God, no, because they're divisional rivals. Thought they'd be smaller. So 43 at-bats against Luzardo and just 7 hits. Wow. Yuli Gurriel, the only one who can touch him, and he touches him violently. 2 home runs, 3 for 5. 2 home runs and a double. But overall, as a team, they're hitting 163 and 619 OPS against them. Then you have Javier, and they're hitting 180. So now 22 at-bats. They have 4 hits, only 1 for more than a single, 1 double. Wow. Javier's xFIP from our Vitalis stat should be scaring people. Hopefully A's smash him. So let's talk a little bit more before we decide to do what Viper is doing here on Oakland. Houston lost all but 1 of 8 games in Oakland in 2020 and then eliminated the A's in a 4-game division series last fall. It was wild. Elvis Andrus, new age shortstop, delivered the first Oakland hit with a ground rule double in the third. By the way, Simeon is everything we've ever wanted in a ball player. I can't believe he's on the Jays. He saved the game. He saved the run. He saved my bet with that diving stab in the bottom of the 5th. I'm in love with him. And Matt Chapman, back in action. He only played 37 games last year, right? Hip surgery. David Trump saying, I wonder if Javier was a fluke last year. And Kevin Mizrahi says, tough hit for the Canucks. 8 players and staff now with COVID. Wow. And Noli has his first 5 under 4. First 5 under 4. Well, let's take a look at what our options are. So we could take the A's. I can get the A's at -125 full game. And the A's bullpen was so good last year. Or we could move into the first 5, focus on that. This total's at 4.5. I could see why he's on that first 5 under. I can see why he's on that first 5 under. And we can't bet. I can't. It's just, I do not want Oakland -0.5. So all I could do is trust Luzardo to be a monster. So what I could do is I could take that first 5 under 4.5, but that'd be trusting Javier. It's really nice weather for unders there. 57 Fahrenheit, and it's 9 miles per hour out to right, but you know what those winds are like in Oakland and how deep that Coliseum is. David Sharp says A's don't have their top two bullpens from last year. Liam is gone and Rosenthal on DL. There's my guy, Toite Latte in the house. Okay, so let's just keep where we were here and make a decision. So that first 5 under 4.5 is interesting. And then if I wanted the A's on the -1 line to drop that vig, I would be getting, let's just see what I would be getting here. I would be getting, let's go to the full game. These are -125 and +155. Let's see if that's worth it by putting that into ye old run line calculator. -125 and +155. And that gives us a +113. That's probably not worth it. And a Toite Latte on Giants Mariners over 8.5. Can't believe the Mariners came back. I was on the first 5. Can't believe they cashed full game. Okay, so I'm going to move. I'm going to take that first 5 under 4.5. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's all I'm going to do. I'm definitely going to take the first 5 under 4.5, and I may take the A's full game. Question mark. Okay. Nice to have Twatty Latte, man. He eats in MLB. He's going to be an enormous asset for us. Okay, we have one more game on the slate. Great work, everyone. Oh, no, 2 more games. Sorry, 2 more games. So 10:10 p.m. Eastern, Arizona Diamondbacks at San Diego Padres, Petco Park in San Diego. Man, the books were eating with the Diamondbacks comeback there, and so many guys were on the Padres run line. And all right, so at Bet365 right now, we have the Padres and Blake Snell at -220. On the run line, they're -110. And Gregor Wilson says, hoping the A's win today so I can hit the Astros and McCullers tomorrow. Okay. Matty Ice liking the under here as well. Petco Park, San Diego, California, 61 Fahrenheit, clear, 5 miles per hour in. From a market movement standpoint, we have Snell opening up at -280. That's going down to between -255 and -270. Oh, shit, that's first 5. That's just Snell first 5. A -225 opening, and now it's between -204 and -220. This total opened up at 8.5. It's now down to 8. Nate Dogg says Padres game goes under. Raven in the desert on the under in the Padres game. Merrill Kelly, 3-2, 2.59 ERA, 0.99 WHIP, 31 1/3, 29 Ks, 5 walks. Blake Snell was 4-2, 3.24 ERA, 1.20 WHIP, 50 innings, 63 Ks, 18 walks. In his career, Kelly's 5-1 with a 2.75 ERA, 37 strikeouts against San Diego. Kelly was scheduled. He's won his last 4 starts versus the Padres, 0.34 ERA, 1 run allowed in 26 2/3. He's also making his first start since right shoulder thoracic outlet surgery. So be interesting to see what he's got. And look at this Padres team. What's Nilo says got this game off the board. Interesting. The Padres scored 8 runs yesterday, and Tatis struck out 3 times. He did get a hit and a run. And Machado went hitless. That's a dangerous, dangerous team. So let's quickly see what they are against the batters here. So 229 average against Merrill Kelly, 719 OPS. It's Tatis, 3 home runs and 11 at-bats, 5 for 11. Tommy Pham. So those are the 2 guys that hit him. And then Blake Snell, only 20 at-bats against Blake Snell, and they have 1 hit, a single. Wow. Danger. David Trump says, if anything, it's the first 5 under. Yeah, if we trust Merrill Kelly enough, it is, sure. They did get a lot of – let's see what it is, because I can't take that full game because it's gone from 8.5 to 8. Can I take the first 5, 4.5, and slightly juice to the over? Yeah, I'm with you, Wesley. I'll roll with you guys there. I'll take that first 5 under 4.5, slightly juice to the over. So That's good. Everybody has the bias of what they just saw yesterday. Okay. Let's roll. We move on to the final game on the card. T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington, 10:10 p.m. Eastern. San Francisco Giants at Seattle Mariners. It's Cueto versus Kikuch, and this market move was confounding. So the total opened up at 5 for the first 5. It's gone to 4.5 with a bunch of books for Cueto and Kikuch. Let's go over the full game. We have this opening up as a pick'em, basically, and then the Mariners become the favorite. So how? We just saw this Giants team hit a lefty, and now they're going to get Kikuchi, who's been so bad. Boston Nick in the house. It's strange. Raven and Dennis says Giants. Cueto 2-3, 5.40 ERA, 1.37 WHIP, 63 in the third, 56 Ks, 26 walks. Look, we know he doesn't really have what he used to have, and he has to shimmy and quick pitch, but he's a gamer. He's a gamer. Mr. New to Town, Toite Latte as Giants Mariners over. Giants low key, good hitting team, ride the hot bats. Wesley Costa says this one is a bum fight pass. So let's just take a quick look at against each other what we see. So Mariners have had 10 at-bats against Cueto, have 1 hit. And only Tommy La Stella has seen Kikuch. He's attacked him. 3 for 7 with a homer. With all that said and done, we got to move on. It's taking too long. If this is how long it takes for 7 games in baseball, jeez, how are we going to do this? Why is there this huge market move? The market move scares me. The market move scares me. But the over makes sense. I will tail Toite and take the over 8.5, and I won't trust either side here. All right, there we go. This is my card. Now, this is all what we do here is the main thing is about teamwork and transparency and honesty. And when I review my picks here every day, I think guys like Twatty and Matty Ice and David Sharp, Yenny Toon, God, Yenny. These guys, the guys in the chat, Raven in the Desert, these guys, you should be really keeping an eye on how they bet baseball. Not as much me. I'm just kind of I'm the host, and NHL's been my bread and butter, and that's what I've succeeded in front of everybody. I had the last 3 years succeeded in NBA, not this year. But so let's not get too excited about whatever I'm on. With that said, I'm on the Red Sox score first. Red Sox score first at -120. I'm on the White Sox taint play of the day. I'm on the first 5 under 4.5 in Astros A's, and I have interest in the A's full game. I'm on the first 5 under 4.5 at Arizona San Diego, and I'm on the over 8.5 in San Francisco Seattle. Okay, and what did the Rocks has a question? Sorry, I missed that. So I'm new to the show last couple of days. Is there a taint play of the day? You're damn right there is the Rocks, and it's the White Sox is the taint play of the day. And you know why our time slot won't change from 11 a.m.? It's because that's the time when Matt Randall can be with us. So done and done. Okay. Nate Dogg, White Sox, Astros, Giants parlay. Okay, my pleasure. The Rocks are 82. This is us. This is our show. We are a team. That is MLB. We move on to NBA. Hey, listen, yeah, that might be something we do in the future. I've never had anything. I've never monetized this page ever, and it's not. I want to win with my bets. I want to win that way, and I want your pockets to grow. But we'll see. We'll see how things move because I do have a 7-week-old and a 3-year-old. Okay, and I am in a 1-bedroom apartment in Parkdale. And I do have these hobo air rats taking dumps on my balcony. And okay, that's enough. All right, let's move on. We move on to NBA. 7 p.m. Eastern, Golden State Warriors, 23-25, 9-16 on the road at my Toronto Raptors. Or Tampa's Toronto Raptors. Fuck them. We don't need them anymore. 18-30, 9-12 at home. Amalie Arena. Oh, one thing I'm not going to do, I'll tell you this. This has already been decided. We are never going to put the commercials on here. There's not enough views. Why would I get $200 a month when and you guys get annoyed? I'm not going to put commercials on. There's no point. I would if somebody said, here's $200, I'm going to annoy your friends. I'd say, fuck off. Take that $200. I'll go earn it with a bet on the over 8.5 in Mariners Giants. So, all right. Let's go. Warriors, Raps. Warriors 1-4 over the past 5. They are 17th in pace, 98 possessions a game. Raptors are 1-4, 15th in pace, 98.10 possessions a game. Let's take a look at market moves. There's Kobe Valentine in the house. White Sox, Astros, Giants plus 681 parlay. Kobe Valentine, there it is. There it is. White Sox, Astros, Giants. And the other parlay from Nate Dogg 420. Let's pop that up before we move on. What was it here? Oh, look at that. Look at that. We have Nate Dogg and Kobe in the same spot. Nilo wants to sponsor the show. He's a great realtor out here in Toronto, and he wants to sponsor the show. So we'll figure our stuff out. We'll figure it out. There's no need to rush into it. No need to rush into it. But let's rush into winning bets. That we need to rush. All right, let's go to NBA. Here we go. Spreads and totals. So somehow, and let me see what, because this is, I don't know how 5 Dimes did this. Yeah. 5 Dimes opened up the Raptors as a favorite, which is crazy. But a Pinnacle, which is, a really sharp book, they opened the Warriors at plus. Wow, they did. How is that possible? How could, that can't be right. That's got to be stale. No, it's right. So, excuse me, I said that wrong. Sorry. The Raptors are 2 or 2.5 point favorites across the board. And the Warriors opened up as 3.5 point favorites. So what's happening here is that we have to be dealing with either Green or Curry out of the lineup. And Kobe says Curry, Green, Looney, Poole, Pascal all out. So Kevin Looney he's expecting to play, but Curry clearly hurt his tailbone in that last night. And that has to be it. And Chris Brady says, last night I got news break, Curry dealing with lingering pain. Warriors are on the second half of a back-to-back after losing their 5th and 6th games last night, 116-109 at Miami. Steph Curry went for 36 and 11, 23 from Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond went 16, 10, and 11. The 16 points matches a season high for Green. 11 rebounds matches a season high for Curry. The Warriors got off to a very cold start. So Kevin Riley is going to back Golden State. So the market is telling us here that Curry's not going to be in the lineup. And we know with the Raptors that Kyle Lowry is not going to be in the lineup. It's now being decided this foot injury, we're going to sideline him for 7 to 10 days. And Rodney Hood is out Friday against the Warriors. So Raptors have lost 4 straight. They're coming off a 113-103 loss at OKC on Wednesday night. The Thunder out-rebounded the Raptors 64-35. Ugh. So Kyle Lowry now has a foot infection. That's the issue. Trent scored 20 points in the first half. The Raptors were up 67-59. Toronto shot 52% from the field in the first half. Van Fleet had 18 points, 7 assists, 4 blocks, and 4 steals. The first Raptor player to have at least 4 in each game. Brian Warner looking at the under. So now, obviously, the Raptors have been terrible. But let's go back to that spot where the Nuggets were on the second half of a back-to-back. The market was telling us that the Raptors were going to win that game. I stayed off because it was very fishy line, and the Raptors won easily. Here, the market is telling us that Curry's not going to be in the lineup, and the Raptors are going to win the game. This total's gone from 228.5 down to 224.5. Let's see what Pinnacle opened the total, because some of these Pinnacle opened up at 226. You know, I should probably start at Pinnacle openers, but it is nice to see what the offshores with limits put it at. David Sharp says, I know everyone's screaming under, but who is playing defense on these two teams? Jerry Beatty says, young guys coming off the bench are hungry. Always take the over in these spots. It's been money for me all year. And New Breed Hustle says the Raps Warriors under has to be the play. Dutch Boy Fresh says Raptors have to be the look, but tough to press the button on them. You know, it just feels so much like that Nugget spot. Capping 24/7 like in the under. So I don't want to go up against Kevin Riley. And I can understand, you know, at this point, I'm just going to have to stay off. It just seems like it's a crapshoot out there. If I had a free play, I'd be curious to see how far this total goes down. Why don't we just take a look at where the money is here? Matt Shedden says, I refuse to lose another cent on the Raps. I get it. I get it, Matt. I get it. Okay, so let's just take a look at what we're dealing with here from a from a, you know, where the cash is. So, we don't even have it up yet. All right. WMD says Warriors. Hey, listen, has this right. I see both teams winning 5 out of 10 in this spot. Polo this, Polo that says correct. Oubre and Wiggins and Co. could keep up. Big prop game says Polo this, Polo that. Okay, so I'm going to stay off. But, God, aren't you getting deja vu from that Nuggets spot when Nuggets played Miami? And then they came, or the Nuggets played Orlando. I don't remember if they played Miami or Orlando. And then came up to Toronto in the second half of a back-to-back. Matt said Warriors looked terrible last night. Can't see them looking much better today. And, by the way, thank you to our guy, Dutchy, for that over in the Hawks-Spurs game. I needed it badly. Had the Nuggets too. And catch the under. So I went 3-2 in NBA because I got the under in the Cavs game, and then I lost my 2 money line picks. So here, this is a really important thing for me to understand and say out loud, just so I can hear this. So with my capping yesterday, so the night before, I wanted the Hornets and the Warriors on the money line. And in my head, I was like, man, if I was in Vegas, it'd be nice to put $500 on each of them. You just need one to cash. The Hornets looked awful. They both lose. But working with you guys, I add the Cavaliers under. I add the Hawks game over. And working with Ski, I add the Nuggets. And then I have a winning night because of you guys. Thank you. I needed that shit. Okay, so I'm listening. We move on to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Houston Rockets 13-34, 7-17 on the road. At Boston Celtics 23-25, 13-9 at home. Thank you. I won't forget that. Is it up yet? Sorry. Good call. Yes, I can bet it. We're 48 minutes to post. Be a nice way to end this show. Hey, we'll see if we can get that double rolling. Thank you, Nilo. I'm going to lock it in right now. And the fun thing about horse racing and doubles and all that stuff is you don't need to bet much. This doesn't need to be a big bet. So look, I'm going to make this a $4 double. It'll cost me $12. So I'm going to grab And this is why horse racing can be so enjoyable, because you don't. Now, I often bet too much, but you don't have to. So 1, 4, 8. And 1. Okay, so this is a $12 bet. And the horses that Gas has in this, by the way, are huge numbers. So in that first race, we have a 7-1, a 25-1, and a 19-1. And in the second race, we have a 4-1. So if this hits, it could easily be a $500 score or more, because we're staying away from the favorites, and that's what Gas does. So here, just to show how little that you have to bet for these huge scores. Okay. All right, thank you, Nilo. Let's get back to work on NBA, and it looks like this is going to be a long show, but if you guys don't mind, then all good. I'll just timestamp it. By the way, I'm going to timestamp all these shows as soon as it's over. I'll timestamp everything. So if you're watching on replay, remember, I'll always timestamp it, so you don't need to sit through 2.5 hours with me. Okay, next up, Houston Rockets at Boston Celtics. Celtics open up at -10. They move to -11.5. There's total at 223.5, now at 223. WMD says Celtics play of the day. David Trapp says, only play I made so far, first half over 113.5. Rockets are now 7-0-1, last 8 to the first half over. Celtics play to the opponent's level. Cash it. Rockets pace last 5, 15th in the NBA at 98.10 possessions a game. I don't have the number for the Celtics pace. For some reason, I didn't write it in, but their possessions are 101 possessions a game, which is probably about 6th or 7th in the NBA over their last 5. And Viper is on the full game under. They're 2-3 over their last 5. Rockets have lost 4 or 5. They're coming off a 121-108 loss at Brooklyn on Wednesday. Kevin Porter goes for 20. Christian Wood back after missing the previous 2 games because of injury and illness. Was back, but John Wall was out because of a knee injury. Daniel House Jr. goes for 18 points. Wood adds 14. And Wood was upset with himself after the game. Took just 3 shots in that fourth quarter. Yes, Patrick Toby, the taint play of the day, it's hitting at 80% since I've come back live, is the White Sox. So John Wall is questionable with a knee injury. Celtics have lost 2 straight. They're coming off a 113-108 home loss to the Mavericks on Wednesday night. Dallas led by as many as 23 points in the third quarter before the Celtics rallied. Tatum had 25 points, 9 boards. Brown 24, Kemba 22. Celtics didn't lead in the game. They outscored Dallas 50-30 in the paint, but it didn't matter. Romeo Langford could be back. Sammy Ojale not coming back. And Tristan Thompson also out with protocols. Stan Lynch says Boston's lost 7 of 10 and dropped to 2 games below 500. Kobe Valentine says Houston are 5-26 against the spread following a straight-up loss. Oh, straight-up loss of... Oh, but that 10 plus is what he just missed that one. Yeah, plus 10. Very, very interesting. Okay, Paul VIP says the only play here is under in Houston. Yeah, it's not easy to trust these Celtics here, especially as 11.5-point favorites. I mean, it's crazy. And that first half over, we have Viper on the full game under. This first half over opened up at 114 with limits and is now 113.5. Talk sports with JT. I should be able to speed this up. We're just getting back to it right now. I shouldn't be taking as long as I am, and baseball's taking longer than it should. I got to get back in the rhythm of things, and I'd prefer to do it all in one show. I'd prefer, but you're right. We could do that, but it would take a long time. No, I feel you, JT. And one of the things that I get, one of the negative critiques that I get is that I talk too fast, so I try to slow down. Gregory Wilson says, one of the scariest things to say in NBA betting this year is, I think I have value on the Rockets today. You're right, man. Okay, I'm not going to make a move here, but I am going to jot down that Vipe is on the full game under, and Sharp is on the first half over, just so when I look at it again. And what did WMD? Oh, and Ravens also on the under. And WMD Celtics minus 13 at plus 300. But then he laughed afterwards, so I don't know. Okay. Here we go. 7:30 p.m. Eastern is up next. Thank you, Eddie Sunshine, my guy. And Polo that's a Houston full of angry athletic dudes. Houston plus 11. And Mike Macklem, keep it moving. Yes. Okay. Dallas Mavericks, 25-21, 14-11 on the road at New York Knicks, 24-24, 14-9 at home. Madison Square Garden, New York. Mavs past 5, 3 wins, 2 losses. 11th in pace last 5, 99.1 possessions a game. Knicks 3-2, 97.40 possessions a game. Trotwam with a very interesting thing here. Says, I think that I'm putting it on my players' shoulders right now. I don't think they need to look internally, and they need to want it more. And Gregor will say, y'all talking me into betting the Rockets. And Vipers also on the under here in Dallas Knicks. Mavericks 25-21, 14-11 on the road at New York Knicks, 24-24, 14-9 at home. Madison Square Garden, New York. Mavs 3-2. Last 5. Oh, I just said that. Oh, sorry. Mavericks have won 2 straight. They're coming off a 113-108 win at Boston Wednesday night. Luka goes for 36 and 8. Jalen Brunson adds 21. Kristaps goes for 19. They had 13 3-pointers in the first half, 19 lead in the halftime. So Redick, Cauley-Stein all remain out. The Knicks have lost 2 straight, coming off a 102-101 loss at Minnesota. Julius Randle had 26 points, 12 boards, 6 assists for the Knicks. They led by as many as 18 in the second quarter. RJ Barrett scored 23. Alfred Payton went for 17 and 4 assists. But they had 17 turnovers as a team. Rose was scratched late with that sore left ankle. He had played the previous 2 games after missing 10 straight with COVID. RJ Barrett is questionable with a right ankle sprain, and Derrick Rose also questionable. Brian Warner liking the under look. Let's go back to the market moves here very quickly in this Knicks spot. Knicks, Mavericks. Mavericks open up at minus 5.5, and now they're at minus 6. And it looks like that the Knicks are taking money. So they moved it to 6 at 9:53 a.m. Pinnacle, and there's been a 6-cent move of added juice onto the Knicks plus 6. This was a bet I almost made. I almost made this bet, and I stopped myself. I was like, you know what? Let's just talk everything out with the guys. Dutch says if you like the Knicks, then you have to like the under. So a lot of guys on the under here. Dutch Boy Fresh is on the under 213.5. Okay, I'm just going to leave that as a note. Okay. And Stan Lynch saying Mavs Knicks under is 4-0 in the last 4 MSG. Yeah, Polo, this. What a terrible signing. Okay, let's move on to 8 p.m. So this is a tricky spot here. And oh, they just changed the total on Hornets bases. Okay. And Greg says I can't trust the under with Luka. Let's go. Hornets 24-23, 11-14 on the road at the Indiana Pacers, 21-25, 8-13 at home. We're at Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. Hornets last 5 pace slow, and that's something that they've done most of the year. 94.73 possessions a game. That's quite slow. 3-2 over those 5. Pacers pace fast, much faster than normal. They are 3rd in pace with 102.30 possessions a game, 2 wins and 3 losses. Let's move over to the market information here. And we have Indiana at -4. They've been at -4 all morning. I was staring at them at -4. The Hornets are on the second half of a back-to-back after an embarrassing 111-89 loss at Brooklyn last night. They played terrible. Jeff Green outscored Charlotte by himself in the first quarter. Hayward, Devontae Graham each scored 13. Scary Terry goes for 12. He was a player of the week last week. Do we expect a bounce back from Charlotte, even though it's the second half of a back-to-back? And Malik Monk will likely not be in the lineup. If we do like Charlotte, should we wait for Malik Monk to be announced out of the lineup? And in saying that, if we don't think Malik Monk is going to be in the lineup, then do we see a player prop for the other 3 scores on Charlotte? And even if so, Malik Monk is not available for the props list. Malik Monk is not going to be in the lineup. So we have Gordon Hayward at 19.5, Devontae Graham at 15.5, and Scary Terry at 22.5. I'd love Dutch to answer that question. Because to me, these guys should bounce back. And Trotwam says Monk is out. Pacers have lost 2 straight. They're coming off a 92-87 loss at home to Miami on Wednesday night. David Sharp says no bounce back, no Monk, no ball, just Rozier as a primary ball handler. Is Gordon Hayward going to step up here? Indiana was led by Miles Turner with 15. Karis LeVert and Doug McBuckets each had 14. Pacers have lost 2 straight overall and 7 of their last 8 at home. Lamb sat out with a sprained right toe. And Domantas Sabonis. So Bjorgren said that he talked to Domantas after because he was grimacing, and he said he took a knee to the quad. He's tough. I know he'll be fine. He just took a hard knee there. But then now Sabonis is questionable. And Mark Hunkelfer says fade the Pacers with a lead entering the fourth quarter for riches. Puzzler saying that Monk is definitely out. Hornets under 3 in a row, says Stan Lynch. Very, very, very interesting. Okay, I've made no moves here so far in NBA. I guess I'm taking this whole idea of just listening and not forcing my own action a little hard. Dennis says Charlotte makes no sense to me. Pass. Matt Shedden says Hornets finally feeling the ball injury. I think they go on a bit of a losing streak. Okay. All right. 420 Fuego says over is 12.5, 12-5 in the Hornets last 17 games with 0 days rest. I think that because we don't have LaMelo anymore and now we don't have Monk, that we should probably not put too much into that. And if you are on Indy like Gregory Wilson is, or thinking about, you should wait to see if Sabonis is going to be in the lineup. And Dutch likes the Pacers here. So do you expect Sabonis to be in the lineup? We'll move on. 8 p.m. Eastern, Minnesota Timberwolves, 12-36, 5-19 on the road. Memphis Grizzlies, 22-23. And 420 Fuego says Rozier didn't cash last night. I'm smashing Rozier and Graham tonight. And David Sharp going to hold his breath, play the under 108 in Mavs Knicks first half. And Dutch thinks that Sabonis is going to be in the lineup. All right. Freddie Freeball. Okay, you got me on that one. Freddie Freeball would rather hit the old bathroom with Oscar Pistorius. Okay, yes, Matty, I got it. It's just that NBA's been tough, and then yesterday was this prime example of listening and cashing that way instead of my own. But you're right. And Dutch C says I would only look Scary Terry. All right. We're at FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. Now, David Sharp was telling us how these Grizzlies keep losing the first half, and they're covering these games that they lose the first half over and over and over again. So total at 232, dropped to 231 or 230.5, and it's still 6.5 right across the board for Memphis. Minnesota snapped their 2-game losing streak with a 102-101 win at home over the Knicks. Edwards, goes for 12 of his 24 points in the last 8 minutes. Cat, 18 points, 17 boards. Malik Beasley, 20 points with a go-ahead 3 with 37 seconds left. They outscored the Knicks 22-9 over the last 7 minutes and 50 seconds. And Okogie questionable for Friday's game. Yeah, interesting. Nilo saying that -6 on Sportsbet. It's also -6 at Sports Interaction. I don't know if we've quite hit a best bet yet. Diesel. Memphis coming off their 3rd loss in 4 games with all 3 losses coming against Utah. Very tough team. They lost 111-107 at home to Utah on Wednesday night. Kyle Anderson goes for 18 and 11 boards. That is Dylan Brooks, Pride of the North, 17 points. Jonas Valanciunas, 16 points and 14 boards. Grayson Allen hurt his hip in a fall, so he sat out the game with left hip soreness. He's questionable. Brandon Clark missed the game for personal reasons. He's expected back, and Justice Winslow is out. David Sharp says it's crazy 0-10 at the half. Crazy. Says they're 7-3 full game and 0-10 at the half. It's crazy. So I think that Memphis, after these tough games against Utah, and I know that last game Donovan Mitchell wasn't in the lineup, but they're still a strong team, I think Memphis takes care of business here. MMA locker room ready to rock. Great to see you. I think Memphis takes care of business here. John Moran over 21.5 for Hey Listen. They're playing good basketball. They're covering all these games. Minnesota feels good about themselves, and I know they're a much different team with Malik Beasley in the lineup. But, Cat's not a tough dude. And Memphis can make the paint a tougher place to be in. And they're going to get Brandon Clark back. Okay, I've got to lean towards Memphis, and I'll sit there for a little bit longer. Yeah, got that Nelly swag. I'm so St. Louis. All right. Okay, I think I might move on to Grizzlies. Let's go to 9 p.m. Eastern. Atlanta Hawks, 24-24, 13-15 on the road at New Orleans Pelicans. 21-26, 14-12 at home. Smoothie King Center, New Orleans, Louisiana. Hawks 2-3 in their last 5. Their pace is 25th in the NBA, 95.81 possessions a game. The Pelicans are 3-2. Their pace 20th at 97.76 possessions a game. Trot Wham says after winning, Wolves are 3-7-1. ATS, right? Must be. Yes. So Pels pace 20th, 97.76 possessions a game. Okay, both teams are on the second half of a back-to-back, which makes it a tricky cap. Both teams are on the second half of a back-to-back that went to overtime. What makes it even harder is the fact that the Pelicans overtime game, 115-110 overtime loss at home to Magic, was without Zion, Ingram, and Lonzo. Whom do we expect to come back? Because the initial thumb injury with Zion, they thought he might be out for a month. Ingram right toe, Ball right hip flexor. I think so, Kev. They're all listed as questionable, but I don't even know. So let's see what the market has done with this spot. And in the Hawks, 134-129 double overtime win. Capella goes for 28-17. Trae Young goes for 28-12. Bogdanovich, 4-5 from 3 for 28. And this is their last game of an 8-game road trip. And I never really know what to expect from a team at the last game of an 8-game road trip. Still no Collins. DeAndre Hunter missed his 4th straight game with a sore right knee. WMD like in the Hawks here. And after a double overtime game, it's not fun to back them. And obviously some of these guys are coming back because the market opens with Atlanta at -1.5, and now it's New Orleans at -1.5. So this game has so many moving parts that we could sit here and talk about it for a long time. Robert McLeod says, fade the Hawks tonight, take the Pelicans. So what is the main advantage here? And it's for the Pelicans. And it's who of these 3 guys that sat out yesterday can come back and play well. And you have to think that the only guy is probably Zion because he's not dealing with an injury to his lower body. Because Ingram with a right toe injury and Ball with a right hip flexor, they could come back and not be helpful. But Zion with a thumb injury, he didn't have to play yesterday. He could come back and be a menace. Sorry. Whenever I say menace, I flash back to Menace to Society, and that Mustang Cobra GT is my favorite car in the world. 1990, navy blue. Got that gray below it. So I need to know if Zion's coming back. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Okay, we have Hawks, New Orleans, and if Zion's back, I'll take the Pelicans. Dave Sharp said Pelicans don't play defense. Hawks haven't played D on this road trip. Last game of the road trip. If I can get Ingram or Zion, it's an overplay. I got nothing. I got nothing. Let's just stay focused here. You don't want to hear. Let's just focus on us and focus on the capping. Okay. Sorry. This show's been on for too long right now for me to go on a tangent about that. K. Paul says Hawks could sit guys are on a tough back-to-back with travel plus last game of a long road trip. Auto fade Hawks. Take Pels and chill. But what if we go into that game and all three guys are out? I guess, are you saying that the market's telling you that one of them are in? And I need more information. Like, I'd be happy to take a -3.5 if I knew Zion was in. Okay, we have Bulls, Jazz, Vivint, Smart, Home Arena, Salt Lake City, Utah. Bulls 0-5 over their last 5. Pace over the last 5, 17th in the NBA, 98 possessions a game. Jazz, pace over the last 5, 8th at 100.40 possessions a game. This trade deadline move has hurt this Bulls team. And it's pretty interesting that Wendell Carter calls this team out for not caring enough. He gets booted. He goes over to Orlando, and they're caring. Maybe Wendell Carter wasn't the problem, but obviously the Levine injury hurts him badly. Stan Lynch says Jazz -12 beat down time. Ron Crawford says Atlanta -1 to 2.5. You see a 2.5? I don't see a 2.5 anywhere. Let me just open up my book for the freshest. I can't use that. We have Dutch Boy Fresh for the latest. I've got 1.5 for the Pelicans. Robert Cherry, there he is. Robert Cherry, we've been sending you as much positivity and love possible. Robert Cherry dealing with COVID right now. And our guy Fat Wally, please, with Robert Cherry jumping in the chat. He's still focusing on capping even though he's got COVID. Can we send him some love right now? We can send him some positive vibes and give him some positivity right now in the chat. Can we give Robert Cherry, our guy, some good vibes here, please? Okay, Bulls have lost 5 straight, coming off a 121-116 loss at Phoenix. Chicago led by Vucevic, 24-10. Thaddeus adds 19 and 10. Denzel goes for 19. Zach LaVine ankle sprain. Kobe White left cervical pain. Both are questionable. Okay, Circa and Westgate, Ron. And then Jazz have won 7 straight. They're coming off the 111-107 win at Memphis without Donovan Mitchell. This team is just rolling, but 12 is a lot. And open 14 offshore. This total opened up at 228. It's down to 225. Freddie Freeball is taking all his 5s. Okay. Look, I don't want to sit here with a 12-point favorite, even though Utah's been smashing these teams in these situations. Okay, next up we have the Oklahoma City Thunder at Phoenix Suns. Thunder pace last 5, 14th in the NBA. And Suns pace last 5, 26th. Thunder snapped their 3-game losing streak with a 113-103 win over the Raptors. It was wild. No Shea, no Lou Dort, no Darius Baisley, and it didn't matter. Suns are coming off their 4th straight win, 121-116 at home over Chicago. And I forget right now just because of just a severe lack of sleep this week, but somebody in the chat was saying watch Booker go off, and God, he was so right. For the life of me, I can't remember who said it, but whoever did was just, But here we have Phoenix as 13-point favorites. Now, they're at home. They're comfortable. But This is a team that, as much skill as they have, they don't always play 48 minutes. One thing that we've seen from the Thunder is they're hungry. They're hungry out there. David Sharp says, Thunder spot, you want Thunder's dogs on the road? I just can't bet Thunder without Shea. Robert Cherry on Booker first basket and Ja first basket. No, Lillian, that's a good point. We got to go. We got to get in the basket into hockey. Hockey's next. That's how I always do it. Now, that's how we're gonna do now. MLB, NBA, NHL. I mean, Thunder at plus 13 does feel like a Suns letdown spot, doesn't it? But then the Thunder probably feel good about themselves after that 113-103 win. But maybe it doesn't hurt that much because they're such a young group. Ron Lofton on Suns first half minus 7.5. Plus 13 is a pretty nice number for me. This team battles. They battle. Okay. Matt Shannon says, don't do it. There's Dominic Lara in the house. Great to see you, Dominic. And Matt Shannon says, don't do it. Jimmy Phoenix come to play against a bad OKC team. That's possible because, but Chris Paul really isn't that kind of guy. It's not like he's a hate-on for the Thunder. Raven in the Desert says Suns by 20. Well, I don't need to sit here with these big dogs, but you guys know I love them. So I'll just leave a question mark beside plus 13. So we have Bucks, Blazers next up, Moda Center in Portland, Oregon. Bucks 30-17, 12-10 on the road. Trailblazers 29-18, 14-9 at home. That was the easiest bet of the year, really, the Bucks Lakers spot. And I still only went 2-1 because I had first quarter, first half in the under and lost that first quarter. Torrey Coker is on the under. We got to move over to NHL here. We have Milwaukee opening up at -5. They're now -3. This totals up to 239. Damn, that's high. Andy Savage says, really like the Blazers tonight. They're red hot and healthy. Bucks just don't look like the team we've seen the past couple years. I'm taking Blazers money line. I think the spread is backwards. Greg Wilson's all over the over here. Says second best bet of the night. Stan Lynch leaning towards the over in this spot. Robert Cherry, Blazers money line. Bucks are walking dead to me. The Bucks look good. I mean, of course, it's a weak Lakers squad, without AD and LeBron, but the Bucks looked good. David Sharp says, I don't think you can get too high on this game. Lots of points, no D. I hear you, Bloods W. I'm close to making that move too. There's Tease in the house, our guy Tease. Much love to you, my friend. Thank you for joining us. And wow, WMD taking Bucks -7 at +400. And Eric Jones saying don't take Thunder. Well, I'm not taking it. I knew this was kind of a tricky card, but why am I doing nothing here? The final game on the card is Lakers-Kings. Golden 1 Center, Sacramento, California. Lakers 30-18, 14-7 on the road. Kings 22-26, 12-12 at home. And playing much better ball. Sacramento opens up as 4.5-point favorites. And it's still there. It's still there. This total opening up at 223.5 is down to 221. Let's see what Pinnacle has done with this spread here. By the way, Pinnacle got all the way up to 224.5 before going down to 221. So that's a huge move to the under in this game. So the initial bets were to the over, and then the under gets hammered. The spread situation has money coming in on the Lakers at +4.5, which is saying that there's going to be a 4 here soon. So if you do like the Kings, you could easily wait for the 4. Matt Shedden says Lakers all day. Robert Cherry says Kings are live. Polo this, Polo that says feel like Sack is the play, but I have a weird vibe about this game. And Nicholas Rodriguez on the Lillard under points. Kevin Riley on the Lakers under. Andy Savage says Kings -4.5. They're so underrated. I won a ton of money off the Kings. Andy, I would wait. If you could wait, I bet you if you wait an hour and a half or 2 hours, we'll see a 4 here. Gabriel Hernandez saying Kings played no defense. David Sharp says Kings here. I'm with Dutch. Ron Crawford on the Lakers. Wow, Gregory Wilson thinks that Blazers game ends at 2:50. Wow. Let's just see this. Okay, we got to move over to NHL, and when we're going to close the show on the first race at Keeneland. So that total, it's gone up just a half point. I like it. Lillian Pumpernickel says books are baiting you to take the Lakers. Okay. Raven does it under Celtics, Suns, Blazers. Okay, so let's move on. But I think I'm going to get to the window with the Kings, but I would like the 4, so I'm going to wait. And then the over in Bucks, Blazers, I know it's high, but it's high for a reason. And I watched the Bucks play. They did not look good in the first quarter, and then they took over in that. I mean, I know it's a bad Lakers squad. I'm not sitting here high on them. I think that the Suns could be complacent here. I'm very interested in the Thunder, but a lot of you guys, and I, you know what? I don't want the Thunder after a 10-point win. Okay, so if I'm going to be on the Kings and the over there, I don't have to move on that Thunder. So Kings and the over. And then as soon as Zion is announced in, I'll take the Pelicans, but I need to know. And then I'm going to move on the Grizz. I think this is a nice spot with Minnesota getting a win and feeling good about themselves. And Dennis Garcia says no. Dennis, what are you saying no about? Please, I'd love to know. Okay. All right, and that's it for me. So not a lot of action for me on NBA, and I'm fine with that. I felt this card was tricky. All right, let's move on to NHL. NHL, and how much time do we have till that first race pops off? 16 minutes. So I'm going to get the video up here. I'll call the first race from Keeneland. If you guys don't mind, race 1, we're 16 minutes to post. Maiden special weight to get us started. And we have moved on a double that was given to us by the great gas station Sushi. And that's 1481. I'll pop my ticket here into the chat. And remember, with doubles, you could do this for $3. If you do a $1 double. Oh, no, the Phoenix being flat. Okay, I feel you. So you could do this for a $3 bet if you'd like. You know, that's the great thing about these bets that Gas and Dennis and these guys make is that they find, you know, big numbers for big scores. And in a maiden special weight, you know, none of these horses have ever won before. Why would you want a 4-5 favorite? And Sportbet has that -4 for the Kings. Okay. Let's go to NHL. We're going to start at 7 p.m. Eastern. Washington Capitals and New Jersey Devils. Capitals 23-9-4, 10-5-2 on the road. At the Devils 13-6-5, 4-11-2 at home. We're at Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. I expect Vitek Vanacek to be in goal. I wonder what Gogster thinks, but that's whom I expect in net. 14-6-3, 2.78 goals against average, 906 save percentage, 1 shutout. And Guprit's doing this at Keeneland as well. I love it. Fat says it's an extremely good spot to bet New Jersey. Marcus Anderson's on the under. Stan Lynch is on Leafs, Oilers, Avalanche, Moneyline Parlay. Greg Wilson says can't bet NHL. I know nothing about living on an island in Texas. Gotten killed this year tailing. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. But I, you know, do what's working. And if tailing NHL is not working, then, you know, succeeding is paramount. Mackenzie Blackwood, 9-9-2, 2.87 goals against average, 911 save percentage, 1 shutout. And it's been interesting to see Wedgwood push him. That's what Wedgwood has done, surprisingly. Caps power play 24.7%, penalty killing 81.7%, Devils power play 13.1%, penalty killing 72.7%. Let's see what we are dealing with here. Let's move over to NHL. Here we go. NHL. We have this total opening up at 5.5 and heavily juiced to the under. Wild. Now that's limit offshore and 5 dimes. And now it's 6. So it moves up a half goal, and the under is still juiced. Very interesting. Washington opens up as minus 170 favorites. Now you can get them anywhere between minus 145 and minus 158. Raven and Desert liking the under here. Capitals are on the second half of a back-to-back after losing their second straight game 8-4 at the Islanders last night. You have to think that they're going to be defensively motivated in this spot. Ilya Samsonov had to leave the ice 30 seconds in after he collided with Oshie. Oshie's shoulder made contact with Samsonov's head. Vanacek temporarily took over the crease, but Samsonov returned just over 3 minutes remaining in the first. Devils have lost 3 of 4. They're coming off a 5-4 shootout loss at the Bruins on Tuesday. They're 0-4 in shootouts. Hischier is now working out, and he's been getting on the ice, so he could be back soon. Guillermo says 14 of the last 18 Devils games have gone under 6. Stan saying, yeah, under 5-0 in the last 5 games. And this game concerns me. It concerns me because the Capitals have not looked good in the last 2 games. And when we've often talked about live betting a game, you want the Capitals up 3-1. You don't want them down 3-1. Because they're very, very dangerous. And they can be very dangerous with an empty net. They're very dangerous, 24.7% power play. And remember that with unders, and my first initial thought was under here too, but that 8-4 game and Vanacek getting touched, Samsonov getting touched, I know that they're going to be more defensively responsible. But they put themselves in a great spot for the playoffs, even if they lose again here. Thanks, Tom, my man. So I always look at a penalty killing in a power play spot when I'm dealing with an under. And you get the Devils 13.1% power play with the Capitals 81.7% penalty killing. That's great. But the Capitals 24.7% power play with the Devils 72.7% penalty killing. So you have an angry Caps team that was embarrassed last night. And then you have a Devils weak penalty killing. And you have questionable goaltending coming from the Capitals. And we have 2 to 4 and 5 daily double from Dennis Garcia. Wow, so 2 completely different doubles from our guys. Wow. Okay. Wow, Dennis and Gas on 2 completely different doubles. All right. Oh shit! Sorry, turn volume down. I'll add that. I'll add that here very quickly. Marcus Anderson says, "Should I take the under 5.5 at plus 110?" Look, I'm nervous about it. And John Chow saying, "Fade the Devils on Good Friday." All right, so I'm gonna tail both doubles. I'll tail Dennis's too, 2 and to the 4-5. Wow, 4-5 in that next race. Cold water and because I'm edgy. Wow. All right, I'm in. So just a little one here. No need. I haven't captained myself. Just a little tail. So that's the first one. That's Dennis's. And then this is Gas's. Okay. All right, so let's keep going. So this makes me really uncomfortable. The situation is just not stable. Let's move to 8 p.m. Eastern. Toronto Maple Leafs 23-10-3, 11-4-1 at Winnipeg Jets 22-13-2, 10-6-1. We're at Bell MTS Center in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Jack Campbell is telling everybody that he's the number 1 goaltender and he should be the number 1 goaltender of the Leafs. 7-0, 1.41 goals against average, 948 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Connor Hellebuck 17-10-2, 2.59 goals against average, 917 save percentage, 1 shutout. Leafs power play 24.8%, penalty killing 77.2%. Jets power play 26.2%, penalty killing 79.6%. So let's pull this up here and see what we're dealing with. So the Winnipeg opens up as plus 123 dogs are now anywhere between plus 125 and plus 130. From a totals perspective, we have it open at 6 juice to the over, and money's starting to come in on the under, and the Leafs are playing to a lot of unders. And Puzzler has Wheeler is day-to-day, not game time. And Tom making moves over at Aqueduct. Tom making moves over at Aqueduct. We are 8 minutes to post. This is the first race of the Keeneland meet. First race of the Keeneland meet coming up here. Leafs have won 4-5. They're coming off a 3-1 win in Winnipeg over these Jets on Wednesday night. They're playing sound hockey, and I rarely say that about this Leafs team. Matthews scored his league-leading 24th goal. Jack Campbell unbeaten. Mitch Marner 2 assists, 13th multi-point game of the season. And the Leafs aren't scoring on their power play, and that's why all these games are going under. This Leafs power play used to be absolutely dominant. 0 for 5 on the power play. They have a drought now that goes back to March 9th. Freddie Anderson awaiting evaluation for a lower body injury. Blake Wheeler did not play after the first game for the Jets. There's no immediate word. And it turns out that it looks like it's a concussion. I mean, it was a high stick from Engvall. So, and he wasn't feeling right. So, this to me is saying under. Campbell playing so well. No Blake Wheeler. So Scheifele's not going to want to take too many risks. Swerving on Leafs puck line. I think this is another under. And I'm going to take it. I'm going to take the under 6. The fact that the Leafs power play is such a mess right now. And now what's happening is they're opening up the gates. You never know who's going to come out there. I mean, we know that they want Matthews and Marner out there, but that second unit is just is continually changing. So under 6 for me in Leafs Jets. Under 6. 9 p.m. Eastern. Flames at Oilers is the next one on the board. Flames at Oilers. Hello there. You want to say a quick hello? Very quick. There's no rules anymore. You can say a quick hello. You want to say hi to the Cappers?
Where's the Kappa?
The Cappers are watching the show. They're capping with me right now.
Where?
Well, they're watching. They're all in their own homes.
Because I can't see them.
I know you can't see them, but they can see you.
Where?
Because they're watching the show right now. The show's live.
Where I see?
I know. They're watching it right now. I got to get back to work. Take it easy. I love you. All right, let's get back to work here. Flames, Oilers, Rogers Place, Edmonton, Alberta. Markstrom, Mike Smith. Markstrom 12-12-2, 2.94 goals against average, .902 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Mike Smith 12-3-1, 2.41 goals against average, .919 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Markstrom's been bad. He's been bad. Flames power play 20.5%, penalty killing 80.8%. I guess they're not used to 2-hour shows. You know, my family not used to 2-hour shows. Oilers power play 25.9%, 77.6%. The Flames have lost 5 of 6, coming off a 5-1 loss at home to the Jets on Monday. Their game with Vancouver on Wednesday night was postponed. This is a team you can't trust. This total opened up at 6.5. It's now 6. And the money line here, plus 113. There's been a small market move. I gotta work, sweetheart. Thank you. I know it's fun, but you gotta go. I'm almost done. Okay. I know they're all saying hi to you, but
say hi.
I know you want to say hi, but I know you want, but I gotta work.
How would you just give you a kiss?
You want to give me a kiss? Okay, that sounds good.
A Kappa kiss.
Oh, that's a Kappa kiss. Thank you. Okay. What a sweetheart. Okay, so we got it back, the Oilers here. This Flames team's a mess. Oilers have lost 2 of 3. They're coming off 4-0 loss in Montreal. They allowed 2 goals in the first 3 minutes, went down 3-0 in the first period. They're an angry group, and they're playing good hockey. McDavid has his 11-game point streak snapped. He still leads the NHL in scoring. This is an Oilers team that doesn't want to be alone. This is a Flames team that doesn't want to be alone. And having that time off, I don't even know if that helps them. So I'm going to take the Oilers on the -1 line. I'm going to take them on -1 line. Okay, 9 p.m. Eastern, we have Blues, Avalanche. We also have 4 minutes to post. 4 minutes to post. Blues, Avalanche. Blues 16-13-6, 12-5-2 on the road. Colorado Avalanche 23-8-4, 15-4-2 at home. We're at Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. Colorado opens up at -210. They're up to -250 at Bet365. You can still get it at -220 at other books. And I'm telling you, without Colton Parayko, you don't want these Blues. This total is sitting at 5.5. This is actually a tricky spot because the Avalanche are coming off that 9-3 game. They score 5 goals in the first period. They're feeling good about themselves. The Blues are an angry group. They've lost 4 straight. They just lost 3-2 in overtime at home in Anaheim on Sunday. They've been outscored 14-4 over that period. They lost to the Ducks twice in 3 days. Tarasenko scores his second goal of the season. O'Reilly, 12th goal of the season. It marked the first time St. Louis had scored first in its last 9 games, and they don't have Parayko over the lineup. Johnny K says over, and I get that with the way the Avalanche looked in that first period against Phoenix, but the Blues are going to be a tight ship here. So this game makes me uncomfortable. We are 2 minutes to post here. We have Coyotes and Sharks left. And by the way, Donskoy got that second career hat trick in 3 minutes and 27 seconds. That is the second fastest hat trick in Avalanche Quebec Nordique's history. Who has the fastest? Alain Cote, 1982, Quebec Nordiques. 10 p.m. Eastern, Coyotes, Anaheim Ducks, Honda Center. Aiden Hill's going to be back in net. They have to go right back to Aiden Hill and give him another shot. Ryan Miller will be likely the goalie for Anaheim, but if Stolarz was in, it wouldn't shock me. Marcus Anderson's liking Coyotes here. Coyotes 18.3% power play, 82.4% penalty killing. Robert Cherry, I can understand the Avs minus 1.5, but even that is what? Oh, that's interesting. The Blues are going to play this like it's their Stanley Cup final. But wow, interesting. Minus 1.5. Is a plus money. So the Avalanche hate the Blues. It's a division rival. I mean, they want to, and the Avalanche have proved nothing to the NHL. I mean, there's a bunch of us think they're going to win the Stanley Cup, but they proved nothing. What was Razor's exacta? I missed it. Oh, Keeneland, race 12. Here we go. A 2-3-4-8 exacta box and 2-3-4-8 try box. Let's pop that up here for our man Razor Sharp Picks. Coming off a giant day. So you know what? I think Robert Cherry's right. I think if you're going to get a plus number, I'll leave that up for you guys. Actually, sorry, I took that down too fast. If you're going to get a plus number on the Avs, why not? Now, Blues are going to play tough. Okay, I can do that. I can add that with my Oilers. All right, we have the Coyotes, Anaheim. We're loading up, too, for the first at Keeneland. Loading up here. I'll call the race. And Stan Lynch, Avalanche team total over, and Bleds W team total under. So the Coyotes had their 3-game winning streak snapped, that 9-3 loss Colorado. That was their first game of a 9-game road trip. That will go a long way telling us the makeup of this team. Talkett says, guys weren't ready, we weren't ready, so it's on me. You have to think the Coyotes come out hungry and angry, or they're going to lose their jobs. And money coming in on the Ducks because of that spot. Aiden Hill in goal for the Coyotes, and I know he's been bad, but you have to think the Coyotes come out angry and hungry. I think they come out fired up. You know, I think that the Coyotes' first period is the look. And top spreadsheet plays for Ron Crawford's Coyotes. I think that makes sense. Let's talk. The Ducks have been off since completing a 5-game road trip, 2-3. Okay, we are off in Cleveland. Off and rolling here. 2-year-olds, maiden special weight, little 4.5 furlong sprint. The 3 Bohemian Frost has got off to a beautiful start. He is flying here. Yeah. Sorry, I know it's gone long, but I'll be done here in a second. I thought you were doing your caption. So I am. Just the first race of Keeneland's going off. All right, we have a 21-3 opening quarter. Is the 3 Bohemian Frost going to be able to take this to the wire after such a fast opening quarter? Here come the cavalry, but we got a 4-length lead, and he's moving away. He's leaving them in this dust. Wow, Bohemian Frost. Bohemian Frost to the bank. And that is that. That is that. Okay, there we go. All right, getting a little flack for the 2-hour, 5-minute show. I get it. Stan Lynn says 2 of the last 3 Coyotes-Ducks games have gone to overtime. I just, I don't want to double up here. And I can understand why Coyotes full game, but I expect Talkett to have these guys ready to go right away. So I'm going to take the Coyotes first period. Then we have Sharks-Kings, and I don't know when the Kings are going to come to play. And the Sharks are confounding as well. Let's just see what the market is here. We have the Sharks opening up as plus 100. They're now plus 105 to 107. So money coming in on the Kings, and I get it, but I just don't trust them. This total opens up at 5.5, slightly juiced to the over. There's now more juice coming in on the over. Sharks are coming off completing a 2-game sweep of Minnesota Wild on Wednesday night. Balsers, Donato scored. They're 4 points out of a playoff spot. Logan Cortier says, we just have to keep playing the way we are. We defended real hard. We created a lot of offense. I think our game is in a really good spot right now. The Kings snapped their 3-game losing streak with a surprise 4-2 win at Vegas on Wednesday night. Peterson stopped 40 shots, and they better go back to him. Because if they don't, what's going to happen is Johnny Quick's going to be in goal. And that's very possible that Johnny Quick's in that. So I'm off Sharks King. So this is what I'm on. I'm on Coyotes first period. I'm on the Avalanche minus 1.5. And I'm on the Oilers minus 1. All right. Time to get the bets in. So let's review everything here. We have Red Sox score first at minus 120. We have the White Sox. That's the taint play of the day. We have the Astros Athletics first 5 under 4.5. Diamondbacks Padres first 5 under 4.5. And Giants Mariners over 8.5. In NBA, we are moving on very few spots here. We're moving on Memphis Grizzlies, the Pelicans, if Zion is in. The Bucks Trailblazers over 239. And the Sacramento Kings once it goes to 4. In NHL, we have the Oilers minus 1. The Avalanche minus 1.5. The Coyotes first period. There you have it. Woo! Good thing there are no rules, because some places don't like 2-hour and 8-minute shows. And Razor got that try. Beautiful, Razor. Oh, I took it off my screen. Attaboy, Razor. Look at this guy. Look at this guy go. Lanil, what up? Great to see you. All right, I got to roll. I got to run. Thank you guys so much for your support. Have a great Easter weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday, Easter Monday. Just, we don't take holidays. Chris Brady's on 3 of my MLB spots. I like hearing that. Stan Lynch on White Sox, Jazz, Avs. Razor cashing. Let's go. Let's have ourselves a great weekend. Let's get paid in full. Let's get that cash. Thank you guys all for your support. Juan Ruiz, Elliot V, DX Bila, Gregory Wilson, Chris Brady, Robert Cherry. Get better. Get better. We are sending you all the love and healing energy possible. Beat COVID, just like you beat the books. Also, Fat Wally. He's in the hospital right now with COVID. We love you so much. We know you're going to beat this. Get better. We'll hang in Vegas. Jacksonville Zoe, Matty Ice Star of the Taint Play today, and that's the White Sox. Razor Sharp Picks, Marcus Anderson, Stan Lynch. Hey, listen, all you guys, thank you so much for your support. Let's get paid in full. Leche. Hey, Los Bookmakers. Let's go.